going on, guys? I'm back at it again with another review, and this time we're going to be taking a look at the SH Figuarts Spider-Man from the Toei TV series. This is actually the Japanese Spider-Man. He's not Peter Parker, his name is Takuya Yamashiro, and he's the one who dons the Spider-Man costume. He uses the Gauntlet to change into Spider-Man. This is basically the show that inspired the Power Rangers TV series, if some of you don't know that. This might be my favorite Spider-Man to date from SH Figuarts. So let's take a closer look. So taking a look at the box here, the box is kind of generic. It's a regular SH Figuarts box, but it has some of the cool designs here from the show. It's a Spider-Man right there in Japanese. Got some poses on the side of the box. And he has his iconic pose here. He's pointing. Then it shows some of the gadgets and the webs that he comes with. And yeah, so here is the figure. And first glance, a lot of people will say that this costume looks a lot like the Steve Ditko Spider-Man, which is the first appearance Spider-Man. And I would agree with you, because the spider has a very classic look. So does the one on the back. But he has these shoes that are a little different from the standard design, but they look really great on the figure. And then of course he's got his gauntlet that says Spider-Man. You can see that on camera. Really small writing, but it says Spider-Man. One thing that I will say that I wish that it had is a wash, at least in the webs. I've seen some customizers do like a wash to get some black into the line so it looks more pronounced. I don't want to do it because I'm afraid of ruining it, because this was a really expensive figure. By the way, if anyone wants to pick this figure up, I think Plaza Japan has one in stock. Den Den Hobby is where I ordered another one from. And then I think Kurama Toys is another place that you can order it from. So he might be still available. He's a little bit pricey, around $100 now. So if you really want to pick this guy up, I suggest you do it now before it gets too expensive. So for accessories, he comes with 3 different heads. Right now he has the eye squinting, which is my favorite head to have him with. He has another head here. This head kind of looks like it's cloth. It's moving around a lot in the eye area. It's wrinkled. And then he has an even more pronounced head sculpt with the eyes more to the middle. Just to show a comparison of the heads, here's all 3. But I definitely like this one the most. And to change the heads really quick, just pop it off right there, and it's on the neck joint. And it just goes right on. And then he comes with a lot of different hands. These are the 2 hands that he uses for his iconic poses when he is announcing himself as the Emissary from Hell Spider-Man. That's his catchphrase from the show. 2 more open hands. Another set of open hands, which is probably for wall crawling. A pair of fisted hands, which he comes with inside the box. 2 hands with open holes to hold his web, which I'll show you later. Comes with 1 pointer finger. And last but not least, 2 open palm hands to do his iconic pose when he's in his mech to change to the robot. Now some people are probably asking, where is his whipping hand? Well, this version of Spider-Man does not use that pose. I don't think he ever does that pose in the show, because when he's shooting webs out, they're coming out of his gauntlet. And in the show, they use rope, and he would call it the spider string. So whenever he would rope up bad guys, it would come out from his gauntlet. So here's one of the webs that we get, or more like rope. It's a single web, and it hinges onto the part of the peg right here. And all you do is place the hand over. And it holds in pretty good. Then we get a long rope, which is for the open hands for him to swing from. Then we get an open web. And now this web actually connects to this rope. So if you want him to use it like that, it does connect. And then he does come with a smaller string And then last but not least, my favorite, he comes with this rope. Like he's pulling someone from it. He's already doing the motion. The hands come off like this. They're specifically for this spider string. And it has an open hole on the top, so you can connect it to a villain for him to pose with. And I think that looks really cool, because if you watch some clips from the show, this is what he uses to grab them, and he's doing the exact pose. And then one more thing, I wanted to show you his gauntlet. The computer does open, and there's small buttons and a screen. So that's really cool. The last thing he comes with, which I'm not sure the purpose for or where it is in the show, is another set of feet. They look different from the one he has on right now. They're just normal. As you can see in the second pair, it looks like he's wearing a type of shoe or slipper. So that was all of his accessories. He does come with quite a bit of hands, because in the show he does a lot of poses, and he's very expressive with the way he uses the hands in those poses. So I really like how they included a lot of different hands. There's a lot of options for posability. A lot of people are asking me if the gauntlet comes off. I would believe it does, because it does swivel. I imagine that if you probably take some hot water and try to take it off, I'm sure it would, but I'm not gonna try to do that, because I like this version of Spider-Man and I want him to have that gauntlet on. Now let's take a look at the articulation really quick. I think this is one of SH Figuarts' most posable Spider-Man figures because of the way the arms move. He has two butterfly joints here, and they move really great, as you can see. They move perfectly. The arms go all the way up, all the way down, and you can move it up. The arms are on a ball joint on the inside. He actually has a bicep swivel, which is very foreign to a lot of SH Figuarts Spider-Man figures. It's a double jointed arm. Wrist swivel. It does have a single joint here, so you can get all those poses in. He has a great diaphragm joint. Moves a lot in that area. Really good, so you can get him in a lot of crouching poses. I forgot to show the neck. The neck swivels all around. Head goes all around, and there's an actual extra joint here where the head is, so you can get that extra movement. He can probably waist twist, but you would have to use the upper part of the torso to twist it. His legs do move out all the way, up, and not so much far back. And then he has a swivel here, double jointed knees, ankle rocker, ankle pivot, and then he has some toe articulation. So this figure is really posable. It's probably the most posable Spider-Man figure that I've had in a while in regards to SH Figuarts, because I felt like the PS4 Spider-Man was really restrictive, and the Spider-Man Homecoming one, it was good, but he can get into the standard Spider-Man crouching pose, as you can see here. So if you're just looking for a really cool Spider-Man figure, or if you're a fan of the series and you want to have this version of Spider-Man, I definitely recommend it. And if you're not a fan of the show and you just want a cool looking classic suit Spider-Man, I'm sure you can take off that gauntlet. I just haven't tried it, and I'm wondering if the webs are still sculpted in on the inside, because here, as you can see, it goes all the way through. I'm wondering if there's just going to be a big gap of plastic there, but I'm not going to be taking it off, but you guys definitely can. One thing I think they could have improved on is the paint job. The paint job is really clean, however the red looks kind of plain, but I think that's the way that the suit looked in the show. The other thing I like about this figure is that you can see a lot of wrinkles on the costume, almost like it's a cloth suit. Even got wrinkles here on the neck and on the back of the suit. So it does look like a real cloth suit instead of just smooth, and even on the head too. I really appreciate the detail to that. Definitely recommend if you want to pick it up. And thanks for watching. Stay tuned for some photos at the end of the video.
谷間の暗闇にキラリと光る光の目安らぎ捨ててすべてを捨てて悪を追って空かける Change the apart 君はなぜ君はなぜ